You are listening to Crown World Conversations with Annie Mae. Today's topic is sex addiction. We're going to dive right into the topic. I found out that in the field that this is not considered actually an addiction, but it is treated as such. If you have, for instance, if you're constantly thinking about sex all the time, if you want to have sex with multiple people, if you're into, constantly touching yourself, constantly looking at porn, those things are considered a symptom of having sexual addiction. Also, just because they're a sexual offender, well, what they're saying is that if you're a sex addict, you don't necessarily have to be a sexual offender. But interestingly, 71% of sexual offenders are considered sex addicts. So that's very interesting. So I guess if you're constantly looking at porno, even at work, or you're missing work, trying to listen to porn or look at porn, if you're spending more money at the strip clubs that you can't afford to spend, prostitution, paying thousands of dollars that you don't have on women and that such, you could be considered a sex addict. Okay. If you are fixated on a particular person sexually, those are called stalkers. I think you are considered a sex addict. If you're engaging in risky behavior with sex, meaning unprotected sex or having sex with different people, without, any regard to anything, you're considered a sex addict. Those are some symptoms and signs. So in Hollywood, there are a lot of people that have this issue. And Michael Douglas, he said that he got oral cancer from having too much oral sex. And so I looked into that to see if that was you could actually get that. And you can. If a woman has HPV, you might get the throat because of that. So you want to make sure that when you're with your partner, that they don't have a dirty coochie, punani.
Damn.
So if you're eating dirty punani, you can get throat cancer. Okay. Also, a person named Amber Smith. She's a model. She worked with Dr. Drew, who's worked with a lot of Hollywood stars that are known to have this. Charlie Sheen. He admitted to be a sex addict, and he eventually, I think he contracted AIDS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson. Nicholson, yes.
Okay.
He was also a sex addict, and also the person that was married to Halle Berry, Eric Benet.
Wow.
The most beautiful woman in the world, as they stated. He cheated on her several times, went to rehab, but never admitted that he was a sex addict.
Damn it, man.
Billy Bob Thornton.
My man.
And his wife, Angie Jolie. They were both admitted to being sex addicts. Rob Lowe, Tiger Woods, he cheated. He's the famous golfer that cheated with the nanny or something like that. I'm not sure. Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, Kanye West. Interesting, even though he's married, but he had issues in the past. And there's also Mel B and her husband.
Nice girls.
Yes, Mel B was known to be a sex addict, and her husband doesn't mind her having sexual partners besides him. So he's okay with that. Now, I think some of these Hollywood stars, not only are they addicted to sex, but also drugs and alcohol, that they sometimes use this sex addiction as an excuse for their behavior. And if they go to rehab or they admit they have an addiction, then society tends to give them the A-okay, or they're an addict, they're getting help. But really, I think that sometimes these Hollywood stars are not really addicts. They're just wilding out. So that's what I think. So, Dre, what do you think about these Hollywood stars and confessing?
Are we going off Hollywood stars, or are we going
off?
No,
we're going to talk Hollywood stars, and then we'll go
Hollywood stars. I just think that a lot of them just comes with the territory. If you're a sex addict, if you say sex addict, I mean, you automatically think that they're... But I think a lot of it is just the territory. You get new, if you're a superstar, you're a model, or whatever the case may be, and you're seeing new people every day, and you might be like, damn, I want to get with that one. I want to get with that one. I mean, it's not. I don't know if it's sex addiction. That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, is there a difference between cheating and sex addiction? Because a lot of them was just cheating.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they're saying
but I don't know if it's not a sex addiction.
If they're cheating, they're using this addiction as the reason why they're cheating. But there was somebody on this list that I was surprised on, and that was R. Kelly.
R. Kelly is a
R.
freak.
Kelly was not on the list, which I was surprised because
he's a sex addict.
I would think he would be if there was one.
I mean, I would think a lot of them are in that music industry, whether it's hip hop, country, R&B, rock and roll. I mean, hell,
well,
rock and roll is probably
sex addicts. But
I mean,
if I would choose one, it'll be R. Kelly.
But the stereotypical rock stars like the rock star life. That's where hip hop gets the rock star life from. Because
so drugs, sex, and alcohol.
I mean, the basics. The basics.
Yeah,
you know
I mean, I guess it does all come together. Most of them do have issues with other things.
That's what controversy is based off of: drugs, sex, and alcohol.
Well, we're gonna come back and discuss this further. What you sipping on? You are listening to Eddie Mae's Crown Royal Conversations, and we're talking about sex addicts. We finished up with the Hollywood scene. We failed to mention Bill Cosby. Oh. But I don't know if he was ever labeled as a sex addict. But they always say, when people have those issues, they have issues with sex. And the wives tend to stay, with them. But there's also plenty of scandals in the politic world. Harry Weinstein. Harry Weinstein?
Yep.
He was, I guess, I don't know, is he a politician or was he?
He's not a politician. He's more in the movies.
Movies, yeah. So that's a famous person that once one came out, it was a lot of women came out against him. So, I think sometimes, once again, they use this cloak of I'm an addict, so that's why I did what I did, and I need therapy, and it's not my fault type thing. But one of the famous persons was Bill Clinton when he got ousted with Monica Lewinsky.
Fellatio.
With the fellatio. But it was determined that he had affairs prior to her. So, in politics, a lot of men have been going down for this. From the very first person, they have listed as Alexander Hamilton. This is a long time ago. Thomas Jefferson.
That would be any person in politics, probably. Hell, all the scandal that goes on, Marilyn Monroe.
Now, Thomas Jefferson had the scandal with Sally Hemingway. Mm-hmm. So that was way back in the day. Andrew Jackson. I'm trying to think of somebody else that's kind of been closer
Jesse
to
Jackson.
here. Well, Lord Jesus. Bless his heart. John F. Kennedy.
I mean, anybody. I mean, you can think about it.
John F. Kennedy. It's John Young, Democrat. Wayne Hayes, Democrat. Oh, Democrats. Oh no. Fred Richmond.
Anthony Weiner.
Donald Lukens.
Anthony
He's a
Weiner.
Republican. Yes, that's the one that was like the black girl.
I don't know.
That
if
was
he was like
no. He was texting his penis. He was sending dick pics to somebody's phone.
Yes.
Anthony Weiner. Yes.
Mr. Anthony Weiner.
Thomas Evans. A lot of them. I mean, there's a list. Gary Hart, Senator. Benny Frank, Representative, Democrat. A lot of these are Democrats.
Hell, your boy
had
I
Democrats.
don't know if it's. See, I don't know if it's. You can consider all of it texting. I mean, not texting. What is it called? Addictions, or if you're calling it just cheating. Because if that's the case, then you got to look at Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart had that situation. Eddie Murphy had that situation. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. All these people that been with people that had that issue.
Right. But see, what I'm saying is when in Hollywood, in politics, they always cloak it with I'm a sex addict, and that explains their behavior. Yeah. And we're more accepting of that because they have a issue. And if they get treatment for it, even though sex addiction is not considered an addiction, it's treated like it is, but it's really not. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, Anthony Weiner, that was his name. And he ended up resigning. And it was a 15-year-old girl that he was sexting.
At the time.
At that time.
She was older when she went through the process,
Maybe. But I feel like, once again, this is a misuse. Donald Trump, they say he's had some controversies with this issue. Roy Moore, he's a senator. There are a lot of senators on this list. A lot of senators. And it's Republican and Democratic, but just throwing it out there. So do you feel like these people are just cheating and just trying to use the fact that they're addicts as a way out?
In some cases I do, because I don't see it. It'd be different. Like in the case of Anthony Weiner, I know that's sex. That's a sex addiction. Dude is doing it wildly.
Right. And it was very detrimental.
I would say Charlie Sheen, and being a icon of what he does, that was a sex addiction. I mean, there's some that you're going to say is sex addiction, but a lot of them I think is just cheating.
So because with people that hold offices, if they're caught up in a sex scandal, should they resign?
From my opinion,
because it's a moral
honestly,
issue.
I don't know if it's because here's the thing: when you refer to morals, you hold upon your position of where you're at as a moral too. So technically, I mean, it's a lot of people like Bill Clinton did a lot for us, a lot for the world in general, and his morals. I mean, he messed up. Plain and simple, he messed up. He did something he shouldn't have did. He messed up. He owned up to it. It was what it was. Well, he didn't really own up to it because he said he didn't have sexual relations, which he really, I don't know how you can define that, but he did a lot for the world and the communities and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's all a matter of resigning now. You don't have to necessarily resign. It depends on your position of what you do. If you're out and you're doing it with hundreds of people, you might need to resign. But if it's just one person and it just happened one time, I don't know. I mean, I personally. So.
And there's also church folks that get caught up in this.
Oh yes, definitely.
You know, a lot of clergy. Not trying to point out specific religion, but Catholics, priests, they're caught up in this a lot. Yeah. And I think they should step down for sure.
Yeah,
because they have a different standard as far as that's concerned.
Okay.
Well, very interesting topic. We'll come back. What you sipping on? You're back, and today's topic is sex addiction. We discussed Hollywood and politics and what it is, but now I want to discuss how it affects the regular people of everyday world. And is this why they consider this not a true addiction? It's because it's hard to say if you are, you're not. If you like to watch porno, then it doesn't make you addict. You know, it don't make you a sex addict. But if you're constantly watching it, and you're not going to work, or you're behind in your job, or, you know, you're not with your family because you have it on your phone. Nowadays, you can look at your internet, you can get over your phone. So it's more accessible to those. If you masturbate, it doesn't make you a sex addict, but if it's stopping you from having intercourse, they say that that's a problem. Okay. For women, you know, we do also, a lot of men are caught up in this, but there are a lot of women addicts as well. I think women addicts to me, we're more drawn to wanting to be with someone and not the sex itself. So I think for women, it's different than the men. We want intimacy, and we think sex is a replacement for it, but it's not. When a man's an addict, it looks like, oh, hey, you know, you the bomb, you know, you just a player. But when a woman's an addict, she's, you know, a nympho, you know, a whore, slut, all those name calling. So I think it's a double standard. But I haven't had any personal experience. Well, there is some, there's help out there. So just like a drug addiction or if you're addicted to alcohol, there's a 12-step program. That you can go through. Once again, you know, you got to refrain from having sex or change your, you know, your day or your structure or however it is. But like I said, only if you are, if for instance, if you're out there having sex with a lot of people, not wearing, you know, just out there wilding out, you know, that maybe you just wilding out. Okay. It doesn't mean that you have an issue, but you don't want to put yourself in danger. If you think there's something that you can't control, lack of self-control, isn't it? You can say you can be an addict, but be careful of how you throw that term around. Okay. Like I said, a lot of people, men that get caught in this are in jail because they're they just doing some nasty things. Some kids out there, they're considered. But to me, I think they're just nasty. I think they just a pervert.
Don't necessarily have to be kids though.
Well, no, not kids, but a lot of the peeping toms, people that flash themselves, they say that, oh, I have an issue, whatever. And they may have an issue. But once again, I think these men that are out here abusing girls and boys are just sick individuals.
Women do that stuff too. But here, let me ask you this. I looked up top 10 ways to find out if you're a sex addict or if you're addicted.
Oh, I have some too.
You have some too, huh?
Yeah.
I got one that says you live a double life. You got that one?
No, I have no. Engage in multiple partners.
How about you exploit others for sex?
Prostitutes.
I guess.
But all prostitutes aren't addicts.
True.
But maybe some are.
What about your life is constantly in crisis?
No, I don't have that one. I have not able to control yourself. Lack of self-control.
You're preoccupied with sex?
I got that one.
Okay. What about you have sex without regards to potential consequences?
Right. Or neglecting your obligations to have sex.
Okay. What about your kink needs to be fed more and more?
Yeah. I saw that one.
You masturbate all the time?
Yep. Mentioned that one.
Your relationships is always messed up?
Don't have that one.
You feel powerless?
It's any addiction. I think that's why sex addiction is so hard to say it's actually an addiction, because anyone can fall into this category and not be a sex addict.
You hate yourself.
Well, okay. I know that could be a symptom. It could be if it's a top 10.
That was 10 reasons.
Oh,
it might not
like
be the top 10, but it's 10
I think
reasons.
with any addiction, if you go to an outside source to make yourself feel any differently, it's an addiction. Like, people can get addicted to drugs because it make them feel better. You don't feel the pain. Or alcohol, it numbs the pain. Or even exercise can be addiction. Anything that you do to cope in a negative way could be an addiction. So I guess if you're using sex, if you're sad, depressed, and you think I'm going to have sex, and I'm going to feel better, that's what I consider someone being a sex addict.
Okay.
If you're using it as a way of coping in life, And if you like to have sex if you have sex because you're happy, sad, lonely, then I don't think you're an addict. You just like to have sex. It's a difference. So educate yourselves on if you feel like you fit in these categories. Don't feel like you're an addict, but definitely check and see why you're going to the punani or the dick for whatever you need. So, and if you're, like I said, for men and women, if you're constantly masturbating overly where you're causing yourself discomfort and health problems, you can rub yourself raw.
Damn.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
Damn, man.
If you're watching porn, I don't know. Men like porn. Y'all like to watch porn a lot. So what's considered excessive, I wonder?
Can we get back to that?
Sure. What you sipping on? All right, so we're back. The topic of today is sex addiction, sexual addiction. And from personal experience, I have been called, I think it's because some of the men I was with was insecure, but I've been called a nympho before. Also, I've been called, I was insatiable once. I think that if you have a high libido, you can't help that. It is what everybody has different sex drives.
True.
So, just because you have a high sex drive, like have sex, once again, don't consider yourself, I don't consider myself an addict. I like to have sex. I think that I'm normal. But if I knew someone that was a sex addict, but I truly was, I don't think I would be with that person because it would be risky for me. They might cheat. So I wouldn't do that.
It can go the other way around.
What?
You might cheat or he might cheat.
If they're a sex addict, they're more likely to cheat than me if I'm not one. So sex addicts to me are more the trait.
But does that happen with all relationships though? Because
if you're a sex addict, true enough, you may have more inclination to cheat than not to. Anybody can cheat.
Are you a sex addict?
No, I'm just about sex addicts. I'm talking about from personal experience. I was accused. No, I don't stalk.
Oh, okay.
I've been stalked, but I have not stalked.
Okay, just checking.
Have not stalked. So if you met a lady, Dre, that told you they were a sex addict, you'll be okay. You will still entertain that idea of getting into a relationship with that person with the mindset that they may not be committed that way because they can't help themselves. It's a medical condition, even though it's not recognized as one.
Will I still be involved with him? It depends on the person. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Mel B husband. He's like okay with her having,
because he probably got a low sex libido. I mean, he might be like, shit. I mean, I can't please her 24/7. So if I can't please her 24/7, I'd rather be happy. You know. Some people saying it's happy life, happy wife, happy life. I mean, a happy spouse, happy house. However you want to look at it. But I mean, if you get involved with somebody in a relationship and say you don't know their nympho, I mean, but you've been with them.
No, a sex addict. Nympho's not a sex addict.
Sex addict, nympho.
No,
what's the difference between a sex addict and a nympho?
A sex addict is addicted to it. A nympho likes to have sex excessively.
Okay. So what's the difference?
Because one's addicted, one's not. One can do without it. One can't.
A nympho is not addicted to it, but they like sex all the time. They like sex a lot.
Correct.
They like sex a lot.
But they're not like,
okay.
They don't have to have it to cope in the world.
What's the difference between an alcoholic and a casual drinker if casual drinker is always out drinking?
No, a casual drinker drinks casually. They don't need alcohol to wake up in the morning or to survive the day.
So you can't say you're... The thinking behind it is weird. I don't know. Because you're saying a nympho likes sex. That means you are a sex addict.
No, it does not.
It's like, I like alcohol. Doesn't make me an alcoholic.
It does not. Just like if you like sex, doesn't make you a sex addict.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, however you see it.
I'm just saying by definition.
Figuratively speaking.
By definition. I know people don't go out there and be like, oh, I'm a sex addict. And they're not. If you just like to have sex. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you a sex addict. So, but I would not be with someone that is, like, if they admit it to me, I'd be like, no, because, it's more likely, you would cheat on me or have multiple partners. And men and women, if you're a cheater, then just say you're a cheater. Don't sit here and say, I'm an addict to make your behavior more acceptable.
True.
And say, I can't help myself. I have this addiction. And you're not. You just cheating.
To be cheating.
Just to be cheating.
Yep.
If you're a serial cheater, then maybe you need to be in an open relationship. Some people just can't be with one person. Right? Some people just need to have multiple people for whatever reason. Doesn't make them a sex addict. So I think a lot of these cheaters, they're saying to most of their husbands, hey, I have a problem. That we're married and it's for better or worse or whatever. So if I'm an addict, then you have to accept my behavior and deal with it. That's what has been said in these cheating relationships. I disagree.
Okay. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, sometime this week, ladies and gentlemen, you will hear my side of the story.
Whatever. Okay, so have you ever been with someone or known someone that you were just drawn to? Like you just couldn't get enough of them?
Yeah. Yeah, but then, we grow up. I'm just saying. I can say that about you.
Have you ever said something like you were just like,
never get enough of you, baby.
You were like addicted to someone, or you just was just like, you couldn't get enough of this particular person?
Yes.
Did you obsess over them?
Nah, that's a different story. Nah, I didn't really obsess over them.
Did you constantly have fantasies about this person?
I can't say I have. I can't say I have, man. I guess I haven't been there then. Have you been like that?
You know what? I would say
Was you like that? Yes. No.
in my younger years, before I, had different experiences, there was one person I was really just drawn to. Like, I just couldn't get enough of it. Maybe because it's the first one that really, really satisfied me sexually. So therefore, I was drawn to that. I was like hooked on a D.
Okay.
Have you ever stayed in relationships because the sex was so good?
Yeah.
You have?
I've been there before.
You're not. No, I'm just joking.
I've been there
So
before.
you stayed in bad relationships because of the sex.
Have I stayed in? Yeah, I've done it before.
I think we
So
all
just
have.
Just to the point where I'm like, damn, I'm glad I made that escape.
So the sex was that good that you just, even in spite of the trials and tribulations, that was just you just stayed for that.
Sex was good, but the attitudes and
But you stayed for the sex,
controversy
though. You
was
stayed
horrible.
longer for the sex.
Yeah.
So you haven't. You've had that
But I ain't had that.
experience.
I gotta be like, damn, I'm always thinking about this shit. Nah, the sex was good. The conversations and the arguments and stuff just wasn't good. Wasn't good for your health.
So you can be addicted to one person, but not addicted to sex.
I can be addicted to one person, yeah, but not to the sex, yeah.
I think that's true too.
You think that's stupid?
That's true.
Okay.
I think
Okay,
that's
I thought you said
true
that was stupid.
too.
I thought you said that's stupid.
No,
Like, that's stupid. Okay.
I think everyone has been drawn to like one person, addicted to a person, addicted to their D or their pussy, whatever you want to call it.
True.
To the love.
True.
To the love.
Well, you got anything in closing before I tell them how to reach you and all that stuff and next week's topic?
Oh, for my poll question about
Yeah. Go ahead and
is
get to the question.
it the
Get to
poll question was,
Get to the question.
is it
I can
okay
throw
or
it to
would you, and I guess it was about men. Would you
Men were like,
men
hell,
were like
nah.
if you ejaculated in your if you came in your woman's mouth and they kissed you, would that be okay?
Hell,
Y'all said no.
No. Thank you. The men's poll tell you. I'm telling you.
It was
I
a no.
Will not. Gurgle on some Crown Royal or whatever you got to do. Brush your teeth, whatever. But I'm not.
I don't see an issue of it.
Well, what's next week's poll?
The next week's poll is going to be related to the topic. Our topic next week is going to be role play.
Okay. So what's the topic?
And
What's
the poll question is, in the bedroom, whose role is it to initiate sex? Is it more men role or more the women's role? Let's roll that out there.
Okay. So men's role or women's role, right? Role play. Okay. Okay. So real quick, that's the poll. How to reach you? Go to the website www.dre'sradiocafe.com. Look up Crown Royal Conversation. There you will see a link that'll say Reach Anime. I think it's on there, and then you can just type in your questions, whatever it is, anything like that, and you can reach her directly. Also, you can go to the website or download the app, Dre's Radio Cafe. There you can also listen to the show live. Ask your questions, answer the poll question. The poll question will be the very last thing on the links down there. You can find the links at the very top with all the little scroll lines. You can go down to it. It'll say poll question. Poll question there, you can ask the question, whose role is it to initiate in the bedroom on role play, men or women? All right. Anime, pass it back to you in terms of your shows, the dates of your shows, times of your shows, and stuff like that.
So this show airs every Saturday night at 8 and 11, and on Wednesday nights at 9
Okay, Central Time.
Central Time.
All right. Any last things before we get up out of here?
What you sipping on?
And we out of here.